Welcome. In front of me is a TECNO Pop 7, and today I'll go unboxing along with a quick look at this phone. So, let's get straight into it. Okay, so let's get into these specs. So display right here is a 6.6 inch display, 720 by 1612 resolution, LCD IPS, 84.6% screen to body ratio with 267 pixels per inch. Running Android 12 Go edition, so this will be a very low powered device. Now I don't actually have price right here, so I'm gonna quickly check it just so I can tone my expectations to the price. So we're looking at about 90 bucks, it looks like. Now the reason I'm looking at this is because this device comes with already a first drawback, which is this charging micro USB. And it costs 90 bucks and has only 2 gigabytes of RAM. Now the reason this is a drawback is because I literally unboxed a better version of this device that comes at 7,000 Indian rupees, which equates to about, again, 90 bucks. And it's better. And by the looks of it, almost every possible way. So if you're planning to buy this device, probably go for this one, which is the Spark Go. And even though its name says Go, it doesn't come with Android Go like this one does. And the reason this might matter is because Go version is the kind of like the cut down version of Android that tries to basically use as little resources as possible, but because of this you get like crappier version of applications that come with this device. So for the full like benefit of running an Android, you probably want something that runs an actual Android 12, not Go. This one runs Android 12, like I said. So yeah, highly recommend checking that one out, considering they're basically the same price, and the Spark Go comes with USB Type-C charging port instead of this outdated abomination called micro USB. Soon enough, at least manufacturers won't be able to add this kind of garbage onto their devices, because European Union will be just spanking them quite severely for this. So yeah, can't wait for that one until this plug becomes obsolete, because it was garbage from the get-go. Anyway, let's move over to the device. So I'm gonna start with something else, which is the build quality. Obviously we have a plastic back, plastic frame, then we get a fingerprint sensor at the back, as you can see right over here, and this cutout. Now it seems a little bit high up on the device, but if you have normal sized hands, I guess that's what I'd consider mine. When you're holding this device kind of like naturally where your thumb rests on the power button and it's just, you know, in your corner over like your palm right here, then your finger rests perfectly on the sensor, which is pretty nice. Now, that being said, at the bottom we have our speaker grill, our crappy charging port, the micro USB, microphone, and headphone jack. Then on our left side, if I can find my little tool, there we go, we have our tray, and that tool is a little bit too big. So on the tray, we have space for 2 different SIM cards and 1 SD card, all of them being dedicated to its respective card. So you can expand the storage in here and have 2 different SIM cards running at the same time, which is pretty nice. Now this device only comes with one variant, which is the 64 gigabytes of storage with 2 gigabytes of RAM, and yeah, like I said, this is the only option right here. Now moving on to the internals, apart from the 2 gigabytes of RAM, we also have a 5000 milliamp battery, and I have literally no info on what processor this device is running. Let's see if I can find anything on the box. So on the box we have nothing. There's basically nothing about it. So that's a little bit disappointing. There was also this, maybe it was on here. A large memory. That's a good joke. Yeah, good one. By the way, this device was released in March 28 of 2023, and they're considering 2 GB of RAM to be a large memory. Okay then. I have no words. Anyway, back fingerprint sensor, maybe. Then we have AI dual camera. I swear, the addition of AI into anything makes whatever they're trying to fork out, like cameras, sound shittier than they probably are. So yeah, trendy design. That's an opinion. That's not a feature. And then 5000 milliamp hour battery and 6.6 inch HD plus display. HD plus meaning it's a little bit outside of the typical 720p display, but it's still an HD display. Just because you make it irregular doesn't make it plus. Anyway, so that's basically most of the info about this device. Like I said, there's not much. I will touch upon one thing that I didn't, which is the camera. We have dual camera setup here, right, with AI. The main sensor here is an 8 megapixel wide sensor. Now, take a guess what the dual one is. If you guessed 0.08 megapixel depth sensor, you would be correct. So, therefore, this is an absolute joke of a camera, and just adding dual and AI in there is a meme, I would call it, to be completely honest. Now, being said, at the front we have a 5 megapixel sensor, and with the back one, at least that's where it's labeled, I can shoot videos at 1080p 30 frames, so no 60. And that's about everything that I can say about this device. Like I mentioned before, this device comes at about $90, and even at $90 I would consider this to be a little bit too expensive, considering it already has a competition in its own market, or not market, but its own brand. So the TECNO Spark Go, which has better specifications, faster specs, more memory, better cameras, display, it's about the same. There's a bunch of things that it shares, but the primary things that it has better is the processor, obviously, the amount of RAM that you have, and the Android that it's running. And that would be all the reasons that I would need to basically go for this one over this what was it, Pop 7, just because the Pop 7 is priced almost exactly the same while delivering less. So highly recommend checking out the other device instead of this one if you have the chance. But anyway, with this being said, hopefully you found this very helpful. If you did, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.